Senior correspondent John Miller is a former assistant director of national intelligence. Welcome.
Good morning.
So why can't they get him out? What's the problem here?
This is complicated on so many levels. If he was a straight-up spy, this would be much simpler.
Make a deal.
It would be a spy trade.
Right.
We'll trade one of your spies for one of our spies. Unfortunately, what they're asking for is in the ballpark, but it's a bit of a miss. The Cuban Five, on the other hand, did not come to spy on the U.S. government. They didn't come to steal U.S. secrets. What they came to do was to infiltrate anti-Castro groups in and around the Miami area and feed that information back. One of the things that makes that a little murkier is one of them allegedly supplied information about the freedom flights where they were dropping leaflets over Cuba, and 2 of those little Cessnas were shot down and people were killed. He's convicted of conspiracy to commit murder in that case. He's lost on appeal. So the idea of phones for freedom versus conspiracy to commit murder is a bit of an uneven thing. Also, the 5-to-1.
So what leverage does the U.S. government have?
Not much. I mean, when you look at these cases, and you can't talk about this case without also talking about the case of Robert Levinson,
right,
the retired FBI agent who's being held in Iran, where, again, it's very difficult to figure out what is an equitable trade. How do you straighten that out?
And they've, in fact, acknowledged that there has been conversations about that.
That's right. So I think this case is one of those ones where the politics also intervene. And that is, if you are in Miami and you see the anti-Castro Cuban community there and the political sway they have, it's going to be very hard to get government officials or elected officials behind this move because they have a scorched earth policy that way.
What prevents governments from picking up somebody and saying he was a spy and then we want to trade him for one of our legitimate spies?
Right.
Well, nothing except there is the tit for tat of that, and we've seen it before. If you go back to Zakharov and Danilov,
right.
We arrest Zakharov, the Russians arrest Danilov, and very quickly there was a trade on a bridge. But most of the spies we arrest here in the United States, we don't arrest. Right. They're here under diplomatic cover. They have diplomatic immunity. They're persona non grata. We send them home with a slap on the wrist. Don't do that again. You can't come back. And their countries then pick the equal number of people of ours, and they do the same thing. When you have somebody who's either under non-official cover, or in this case, who's a contractor to a State Department, to a congressionally funded program that Cuba then passes a law against. So we're basically saying, you're a contractor for the government. Congress funds this. You go to Cuba, you break the law, and he's hanging out there. Yeah. So it should be very uncomfortable for our government, and to the extent it's not, his wife is trying to make it that way.
Exactly. John Miller, thank you.